Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Teaching Online with Kelsey. My name is Kelsey and I created this channel to vlog about my life as a full-time online teacher. So please make sure it is not the last time that you see me by hitting that red subscription button and the bell down below to be notified of new videos every week. And to also give this video a thumbs up. It helps support me and this channel. And don't forget that I have lots of other services down below in my description box that also helps support my channel and helping me still continue to create videos just for you. So now let's go ahead and get started. For this video, I am going to be sharing with you about Outschool Organizations, and specifically to also announce to you that I am officially a part of an Outschool organization. So maybe you're thinking,
oh, so you just gave up all of those classes that you created on Outschool and now you're going to commit to teaching on an organization?
No. In fact, what I'm going to explain in this video is how joining an Outschool organization does not mean that you have given up everything that you have built up as an Outschool teacher. So a disclaimer before we really get started, this video is not about how to create an organization for yourself. So first and foremost, I have an online teacher friend, Katie Geddes, and she has done lots of videos about creating an organization for your own and what that's going to look like. So I definitely would recommend her videos to figure out how to start an organization for yourself. This video that I am doing is going to be talking about the organization and whether you as an independent teacher should join this organization for yourself. So the first question on your mind is, what is an organization? I am going to be reading what it says directly on the Outschool website. So it says, organization partners with Outschool to bring their classes, programming, and curriculum to learners across the globe. Organizations simply invite their staff to teach classes on Outschool and can fully manage their own class curricula, schedules, enrollments, and learning parent communications through the platform. So essentially, you as a teacher on the organization are going to be teaching another teacher's curriculum. So this is where maybe some people may think, oh, well, if you joined an organization, then you're giving up what you've already created as an independent teacher. And that is just not true. At least the organization that I'm a part of, you still have the ability to continue teaching your ongoing classes or your camps or your one-time classes. You just have the organization classes that you teach under the organization as a supplement to what you already have to offer as an Outschool teacher. The chances of a teacher wanting to create an organization is because they have classes to offer on Outschool, but just not enough hours or days or times in the week to meet every parent's needs to get the class met. So they create the organization and bring other teachers in hopes that the other teachers will help them teach the subjects during those times and days that the owner of the organization cannot teach on. Many times when you as the teacher join the organization, that means you relinquish a lot of the control that you would have with being an independent teacher on Outschool. So assuming in this video you are already an Outschool teacher and not thinking about joining Outschool, or you saw on social media a chance to join the organization, but that would mean you would have to go through the Outschool application process to be a teacher of the organization. So the owner of the organization and people that are in charge of the organization are going to be the people that will take care of parent communication, parent scheduling, and what types of classes that they are going to have every week. And then they are going to be scheduling you depending on your availability that you are willing to teach their classes on the organization. And you essentially know what your schedule is, and then you come and teach the class. The owners of the organization are the ones in charge of the advertisement of the classes that they have under the organization. You know, they are also in charge of making sure that if there's any issue that would happen, that you communicate it with them and not directly with Outschool. So what are the pros and cons of joining an Outschool organization? I would have to say, for me personally, the biggest pro for joining an Outschool organization is if you as an independent Outschool teacher are having trouble with low enrollments, despite advertising your classes and offering discounts and telling all your friends and family that you are a teacher on Outschool and opening up availability. Despite doing all those things, it just seems like parents are not signing up for your classes, and that you would actually end up having big holes in your teaching day. And you don't want that. We all understand we got to make a living at some point. So the pro of joining an Outschool organization, as I mentioned before, is a supplement to what you as an independent teacher already have to offer on Outschool. It's that supplement income that you can use to fill in those holes of classes that you would normally teach on your own, but then you just can't anymore. Maybe you're also having a really difficult time with enrollments. You're just starting out and you're like, why is no one signing up for my classes? That organization can help build you up as a teacher too. As I've mentioned a little bit earlier on the pro, you would not have to worry so much about the parent communication and the technical difficulties and the pricing and the creating the courses and the lesson plans, and you would not have to worry about that per se. Obviously, the owner of the organization, they're going to be the ones in charge of scheduling out the classes and the pricing and when they're going to be offering these classes. And you just simply follow the schedule and the assigned classes that they give you. So if you feel a little stressed having to schedule out classes and you feel stressed creating lesson plans, this could be a really good alternative for you in terms of teaching online and being able to teach globally. You still will have your flexibility. So the organization that I'm a part of, there is no minimum and there's no maximum to how many classes you want to teach on Outschool and under that organization specifically. Now, each organization is going to be different in terms of if there is a minimum or a maximum in terms of classes, just as long as you're with the organization and that you follow the rules. Another pro of the organization is that you will be under a niche that you are passionate about, that it's not just you, but there will be other like-minded teachers that are along with the organization in that particular niche as well. Most organizations are under a very specific niche. So this organization that I've joined is a Montessori organization. So meaning I will be teaching a lot of Montessori lessons at a specific level and specific lessons. There are a variety of organizations. There are music organizations. There are baking and cooking organizations. There's photography organizations. Really, if there's a specific niche about it, more than likely, there's going to be an organization about it. And if there's not, and you feel like you're overwhelmed with so many people wanting to take your classes that you want to start an organization, again, reach out to my girl, Katie. She has all the videos on starting the organization. And like I said again, this is not about creating an organization for yourself. This is about joining an organization. So with pros, there are going to be some cons. The cons of joining an organization is that you do not have control over the payout. So whatever the charging amount per class is for the classes that you are assigned, so the organization will still get a 30% cut. So they have that 70% given to them. And then the organizations are also going to have their own fees on top of that before they give you the remainder of that money, depending on how many classes or even hours that you taught. Some organizations will even do it based on hourly pay. But again, depending on which organization you might be interested in, these are the type of questions you want to ask in organization interviews. You know, how is the pay going to be structured? Is it going to be, you're going to take, you know, Outschool will do its 30% and then there's going to be another percentage on top of that before I get my final pay? Or is it going to be hourly? So make sure whenever you proceed with the interview that you ask those types of questions, and whether you feel like the rate that they go with is going to be acceptable income for you, or if you don't really feel like it's going to be beneficial for that. So that's just something up front you want to keep in mind is, do you make more money doing things independently, or do you feel like you would actually make more money joining the organization, even with their percentages taken out? So you also just have to consider, because they do their own advertising and they're going to see a lot more students. The reason I joined the organization was, again, to fill in those holes of the hours that I would normally be teaching, but that are not getting filled at the current moment. So, you know, I feel like it's a fair trade-off, because they do a lot of advertising. They do see a lot more families within their organization. So again, that decision will be up to you personally on that, whether you feel like the pay is worth it. You know, the other con, if maybe you struggle in this, not really sure, but you would have to teach the courses within that organization, and that you would not be allowed, all right, and this is super important, you would not be allowed to like teach their courses and then essentially copy what they have in the organization into your independent teaching side and make it your own. I feel like that should be an obvious big no-no, but I'm saying it because I know somebody needs to hear it. So most organizations are going to come into an agreement in that if you are teaching under the organization, that you do not copy what the organization is teaching on their site, and then you create something like that, and then you teach it on your own platform side of teaching. So I feel like that goes without saying, but I'm saying it anyway, because that's going to be a huge no-no to the organization, and that's going to lead to being terminated by the organization if you do such a thing. So I'm saying it's a struggle if you enjoy creating your own classes and then realizing in the organization that you are not going to be able to do that necessarily anymore. So not sure if it's a con per se, depending on how you want to perceive it, but just so you know, you would not be allowed to create such content after teaching a specific contract under that organization. Should I teach with an organization? So ultimately, after what I've shared with this video about joining an organization as a teacher, that decision is up to you. It really just depends on your particular situation in terms of your online teaching journey, whether that be you are a newbie and you are struggling with enrollments, or maybe you've been in the online teaching game for a little bit. However, you have a very Swiss cheese schedule, and maybe you're looking for something that can fill in those gaps in terms of teaching. Or maybe you're growing tired and weary of creating new lessons and having to message parents constantly. Maybe you just need a break and you just need someone else to take over the reins and you just simply focus on teaching. That is also okay too. So all of those factors in terms of joining an organization are valid. Or maybe you just are curious about how an organization works. Also okay as well. So that decision is going to have to be up to you as to whether you feel like it would be the best move and the best decision to move to an organization to do in conjunction with your independent teaching, or if you feel like that what you are doing independently is sufficient enough. Again, that decision is up to you. If you do have any other questions about Outschool Organizations, or if you're curious about joining Outschool and then eventually joining an Outschool organization, please leave a comment down below. I also have a referral link to join Outschool. So I encourage you to sign up for Outschool if you are on the fence about it, and maybe joining it under an organization may encourage you to take the leap of faith and teach on Outschool in that way. So that's all I have to share. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time.